Hi, everybody. Welcome to Meet the Mailers. I'm Paul Bobneck for Who's Mailing What, and today I'm talking with two guests from Premier Press in Portland, Oregon. With me are Manuel Saez, Vice President, and Caleb Orazio, Direct Mail Services, Data and Shipping Manager. Now, before we get started, if you have any questions or feedback, please comment in the box below. Show your support by tapping the like button. And to get notified of when we add new videos, click on subscribe. Now let's meet the mailers. Hi, Manuel and Caleb. Welcome in today and thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure being here, Paul.
Awesome. So let's get started by talking about both of your backgrounds, if you will, if that works for you, how you both got involved with direct mail and print, and what your roles involve at Premier Press.
So my name is Caleb, and the Direct Mail Services Manager here. Premier as a whole has been doing mail for over 20 years, specifically got started in the digital production space with some of the first digital presses for some of our clients. And about 7 years ago, we expanded by acquiring a company that was one of the founding companies in direct mail for the city of Portland. And they started in 1914, and around that time we got to integrate, and the expertise on our team that was able to transfer over, and around that time is how I got my start, previously involved in those type of acquisitions, and came on to help manage the transition.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
I've been in the business for 27 years, and I have touched on all phases of the print industry. It was just a natural progression throughout the years to be involved in the direct mail side. So it's something that's always been close to me. And in joining Premier here a few years back, we've really been doing a big push here to continue down that path and expand our market services.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and getting more into specifics, what type of direct marketing services does Premier offer to marketers overall? And feel free to include anything else besides direct mail if you want to, if it helps.
Being that we're a creative production company, we're very much touching on that whole creative side. So in our services, we offer obviously creative, social media, anything that is involving, influencer marketing, personalization, variability, really directing our focus, to the end client. So on our side of it, our services is not just as a printer, but it's the whole gamut of beginning to end for the client.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And from the website, I've read a lot about Premier, which is about being, more than simply printing materials for customers. Can you talk about the, that commitment to creativity?
Yeah, we as a company have noticed many years back that in order to differentiate ourselves, in order to really start from that beginning process to the end, we had to get involved ahead of time, be on the creative side. Premier is a creative production company, but we also do offer our services as a creative agency as well. So having the opportunity to speak to the client several months in advance, 3, 4, 5 months in advance of what their end goal is, really helps us to, one, either direct the narrative towards, what would be good for Premier, but also at the same time, what if we can offer those services, what direction they should go into. So it's a whole encompassing approach, if you want.
Okay. So getting more into the details, how can companies use direct mail to engage customers at different points along the customer journey?
So I think to that end of us being a creative partner, engaging with the customer on their overall marketing strategy, we can try to leverage what has already been the holistic approach of what's happening to a client. And specifically with mailing, a lot of it starts with the data, client data, being able to leverage their data that they have, or us being able to supply good data to be able to engage customers that are already on the journey that they find themselves on, either looking for those products or those interests. And then I think we definitely want to collaborate the two, especially the digital and the mail, because it's more effective that way. There's a better ROI that way, but also it helps to be able to stand out. So as far as specifically on the customer journey touch points, we like to integrate with a lot of the different emerging technologies. There's promotions, things like that, that the post office even has incentivized mailers to go towards. So everything from being able to, for some of our clients, to be able to say, hey, Google or Alexa at the end of the day, and then have an easy on-ramp for their customers to make the next step. We want to make sure we can help with that, delivering the client all the way.
Oh, okay. So does that include voice assistant mail?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. And just out of curiosity, like, are you been getting like a good reaction from your customers about how the kind of response they're getting from their mail?
So specifically, the latest one was the third and fourth quarter of 2022, but the response that we've gotten was they were very much excited about it and track their results. So I think it's something that's going to be continuing on.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too. Are there specific verticals that Premier works in with direct mail?
So, I mean, I think we find ourselves in markets in areas that are highly personalized. So, specifically in areas of healthcare and tech and real estate and even pet health, nonprofits, things that we find ourselves in spaces where we're trying to personalize and make a custom impression on individuals. So those are the markets that we end up gravitating towards.
So at the same time that you work on solutions with customers, how do you incorporate cost into the discussion of cost versus benefits? Like I'm thinking, for example, of dealing with postage increases and paper shortages, things that a lot of people have had to deal with. Is this an opportunity for using more personalization?
Yeah, the whole personalization side of it is really comes down to that whole influencer marketing as well that we push, and being able to personalize it kind of takes away from us just being a static, if you want, printer. What we're trying to bring to the client is, at the end of the day, how do we maximize their dollars, and how do we get to the end client specifically versus the big shotgun approach? So our conversations tend to not be, the lowest cost provider, is more of what service can we provide you so you get the best ROI on your dollars.
Right, that certainly makes sense. So would you say then that there are a lot of opportunities for like a more robust version of personalization, like using a lot of variable data printing and things like that?
Yeah, we made a pretty large investment a year and a half ago, and invested into a digital roll-fed web, the T250. So it allows us to be able to do these much longer runs, but at the same time being variable, every image throughout. So it's been a great addition to our arsenal, and it's part of our expansion into longer runs, but on the variable personalized side of direct mail. Okay.
So one important factor for companies moving forward in our industry surely is sustainability. Can you talk about some of the initiatives and certifications that you have, and why is that an important thing going forward?
It's actually dated way back in our ownership. They've always wanted to make a difference and leave the world in a better place. So being able to focus on that side, the company throughout the years has continued to invest both technology wise. We have all the lighting in the building that dims down and turns on as people walk through the building. So if we have unattended areas, We're 100% windmill powered facility as well. We have, the certifications of SGP certification, rainforest stewardship, FSC, certification work if anybody wants FSC papers. So it's definitely, always been part of what we do. We also are very fortunate that we have some very large accounts that are here in Portland that is very important to them to have that sustainability approach. So it kind of pushes us always to be able to offer that to other clients, to say, here's an alternative. However, if this is the way you want to go, but here's something that's a little more green friendly. So it's it's definitely it's part of our whole vision and values.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about, is if one of the factors with some companies is that they just do it because it's the right thing to do, and because it's part of their core values of their company. But I think I agree. It's also important to have clients who push you in that direction, because it's also important to them.
Yeah, it tends to be a large investment for most companies,
Sure.
not just us, but also the actual client that's paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've noticed a shift over the last decade where people used to say that it was important, but when they found out, the alternative costs were more money, maybe it wasn't important to them anymore.
Right.
And now over the last decade, we're finding, some of the bigger players are like, okay, this is important. We are going to spend the money. Let's do this right, and let's, try to leave the world in a better place.
Right. Right. And understand more of like the long-term objectives as well of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, talking, like in general about direct mail, what is the best value proposition for companies to use direct mail, and why do you think it still works so well?
I think that there's quite a few value propositions for it. I mean, there's probably cases to be made specifically around the response rates, cost effectiveness, return on investment when it comes to mail. But I think for us, or at least for me, what stands out to the question is more of the chance to be able to put something physical and tactile in front of somebody. Mm-hmm. It's a chance to do a different type of impression. Digital marketing can be very oversaturated right now, and it's easy to get lost in the noise. But mailing is old school. There's something physical. There's something more shareable about it. If you do it right, you can avoid just speaking to a list and talk to specific individuals. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something, at least around here, that we try to help our clients towards that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the pandemic has definitely affected the research in direct mail. People have been so accustomed over the last couple of years of being bombarded nonstop with social media and ads and so forth, that it kind of, like as Caleb said, it gets lost. And actually getting something physical, and either get something that stands out, and it could be foil, it could be soft touch, it could be whatever means it is, but you actually maybe get a fraction of a second here for somebody to actually look at it versus just hitting the delete button.
Mm-hmm. And is that something you'll suggest to your clients as well? Like, hey, we can use like soft touch coding, we can use these embellishments that will stand out, and it only costs, X amount more to do that?
Yeah, depending on the campaign that they're looking for, those are definitely all options that we bring along. We've done direct mail campaigns where there's pop-ups, right? Or if it's, we've done one in the past where you open the letter and there's, a rubber or plastified butterfly that flies out of it.
Oh,
so
wow.
Just a lot of different things that we can incorporate depending on, the dollars that want to be spent on that particular campaign.
Wow, that sounds really cool. I'd love to see something like that. So, looking ahead and considering where we've been like the last couple of years, what trends do you see unfolding in direct mail in 2023 and beyond?
So just to keep on hammering it, I think it's the marrying of the digital and tactile. The trends of using other technologies, more personalized data, speaking directly to people. different technologies. It's just going to have to be the standard moving forward. And
Mhm. Yep, completely agree. Okay, well, how can people find out more about Premier Press for possible consultation or partnership with the company?
Yeah, I think we have a fantastic website that gives a lot of information out. That's one of the advantages of having such a strong creative agency background. So there's definitely a lot of information available either at premierpress.com, or they can also go to connect@premierpress.com. That
Mhm.
allows for just a direct request to us. Front desk, obviously, still available, but we're available anytime here to answer any questions.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much again, Manuel and Caleb, for being with us today. And thank all of you out there for joining us today as well. If you have any questions, again, for us or for our guests, please leave them in the box below. Show your support for the program by tapping the like button and click on subscribe to be notified of new videos when they're added to the channel. If you want to be highlighted in a future Meet the Mailers, I want to hear from you. So my contact info can be found in the paragraph below by tapping Show More. Thanks again for watching Meet the Mailers, and see you here next time.